Hello, welcome back. So yes, the title is not clickbait. I am giving up YouTube for Lent, which also means I won't be posting during Lent. So yeah, I don't know what else to say than that other than let's get into it. So I'd heard about Lent throughout, I think since high school I'd heard about Lent, and I'd heard about giving things up for Lent, but it wasn't until last year that I actually gave up something for Lent for the first time, and decided to give up Instagram. Now I will not be linking to my Instagram here, and I haven't done that on anything on here because my Instagram is private and I don't want people here to know my real name and stuff. So yeah, so there's that. And so it was kind of hard at times to just not pick on Instagram, but overall it didn't affect me too much. So I decided for this year to give up YouTube because that would be a harder challenge. And I also feel like YouTube had a bigger hold on me. It's what I've spent most of my time on uh, throughout this past years. And so one thing I did when I was doing my channel and stuff more so later on, well, while I was taking a break from technology, because kind of technology use has kind of been a problem for me for most of my life. One thing I would do when I would spend time off is I was think through what I was gonna say in these videos. So even when trying to get off technology, I was still thinking of YouTube. So yeah, and I don't know if that will completely go away during this time. I thought I would try to, but then I kind of I'd kind of have to get back into it, although I didn't think through this video that much, so this might not turn out as well, or I guess we'll see. So during this time of coming up, which it hit me soon that this is going to be coming up soon, and I don't know if I'm the most prepared for it. So what I really want to do during this time is what I want to do is focus on writing, specifically writing a book. Yeah, it's something I've tried to do many times and I've never gotten very far into it. And so I was thinking, and I've wanted to get back into it, but spending time on YouTube and also doing this channel and the reading on top of that, I haven't had much time for that. So I want to use this time for that because I you kind of wonder if it's not in me to write a whole book, but I really want to do it. So yeah, but then and then and I've tried to spend a week dedicated to writing last year, but then I just gave up partway through that. So hopefully with not being able to do YouTube, hopefully I'll stick with it more this time, but I guess we'll see. And then also one thing that I really don't want to do, but I feel like I should do is deal with things that I've been kind of avoiding to and kind of been distracting myself from, but maybe not. Just yeah. So now I'm going to go over my Lent TBR. So I'm gonna try to not read. I'm not really gonna be reading much fiction books because then I'll be thinking through what I want to say in these videos. So I'm gonna go through some non-fiction books that I hope to read, and hopefully I'll try to not to talk about it on here, but I'll probably post reviews on Goodreads to what I get to. So yeah. So the first book hoping to get to during Lent is Habits of Grace by David Mathis. So so a good amount of these books are textbooks from college, Bible college and stuff. So yeah, this is one of them, and I've also read most of these books, or at least parts of these books. So yeah, this one I read the whole thing, and for some reason I haven't reread it. So I'm gonna hopefully reread it, and kind of because this book is kind of about the spiritual practices, and I kind of want to, because also during this time I'd hopefully spiritually grow in some ways. So I just kind of want to get back to basics with this. So because I feel like sometimes it's as a Christian, whereas I feel like I have so much Bible knowledge, but then some basic things I feel like I don't understand sometimes. So yeah, hopefully this will be good for that. The next book I hope to read is very fitting for what I'm giving up this time. That is Disruptive Witness by Alan Noble. So yeah, so this book is about like how in this age we are so distracted with technology and stuff, and yeah, witnessing in that stage. So yeah, and I've also only read this one once, so it'd be nice to read it again. And this one is actually cool because there is a part where they talk about like books and like engaging with fiction as a Christian. And I think around the time that I was reading this, I was going through some doubt about starting my channel because I was like, is it really, how is it glorifying to God if I'm just talking about books? But then this book really helped me see that no, this it is okay to start a booktube channel. So yeah. The next book that I really want to reread during this time is Love Thy Body by Nancy Piercy. So yeah, I read this quite a while ago, and this book feels really heavy in my head. But I for sure read it once. I might have reread it twice, but I think I might have just like reread parts of it. So, but this time I want to read the whole thing, and I really want to annotate it because I feel like there's lots of things that I want to refer back to in this. So this one, I mean, so this is kind of random. So I've wanted to do the video of like reading 1-star reviews of my books I love and stuff like that. And I feel like this one could be one where I could easily find 1-star reviews because this touches on some controversial topics. But yeah, so basically the premise of this book is the secular position on many of these hot topic issues comes from an idea of devaluing the body, and that the Christian view is supposed to honor the body more. It's kind of the idea of this. So yeah, I want to get back into this one. So, and the next book that I want to reread during Lent is How to Give Away Your Faith by Paul E. Little. So this book is essentially about evangelism. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm interacting with more non-Christians now than I've usually been, so this could be helpful for that. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. Alright, so the next two books um I've have that I'm hoping to read for Lent. I've read parts of these books, but I haven't fully read them. See, this first one, he's even still got the bookmark into. The first one is Bible Overview by Steve Levy. Um, so yeah, as you can see, I got about halfway through it, but I guess we'll start again. Hopefully, read the whole thing, see what else. Remember there being some interesting parts and parts I wasn't sure about. So, but I guess we'll see with this. And again, maybe I should have put this more at the beginning of my TBR because I just feel like it's more. I don't know. So then, like Love Thy Body, we got another potentially controversial one that again I haven't read fully. And that is Discrimination and Disparities by Thomas Sowell. So yeah, of course I got this book. He is my yeah, and so I remember I tried to read this book, but I remember when I would try to read it, I'd read a part, but then I'd want to stop reading and just think about what I just read. So for this one, I'm probably just gonna have to buckle down and just read it. So yeah. And then for the last book I wanted to talk about, now this is a fiction book, and then, of course I didn't want to have to read any fiction books or books on my TBR during this time because then I would think about what I'm gonna say in the videos on YouTube. But this one is not gonna come in from Libby except during Lent. So I'll probably just have to only say something on Goodreads, and then if an opportunity comes up to talk about it again. So that book is Bear Town by Frederick Bachman. So yeah, this one it sounded really interesting. I read my first Frederick Bachman last year. That one was pretty good. So hopefully this one will. From the way I heard it described, it almost reminded me of Wonder with like all the different perspectives. So feel like that'll be interesting to see how it's done in this one. Yeah, I'm hoping there isn't really any content problems. I mean, I guess the only really content concern from the other Frederick Bachman I read was just language. So hopefully there's nothing worse in here, but there is, I think part of the story is essay, but hopefully that's not that described. So, but I guess we'll see. So, yeah. All right. So, that is it for this video. So again, cheers time to see me because you won't be seeing me for 40 days. But of course, you still have all my old content. And before Lent, I'll be hopefully posting one more video and maybe a short. So you'll still have that to look forward to, but then you won't get much for a while. But you can go back and rewatch. All I all I've lately been doing on YouTube is rewatching. So yeah, that is all. Goodbye.